I gotta move the flashometer to the left, bring it out a little. I really don't know how to do that. Now this is when you go out and get yourself a plumber. But guess what? I'm still stupid. And I'm gonna do it myself. I need to go into the wall to see how the pipes are arranged. Man, no, I'm sorry.
Hello, this is Robot AC21 coming to you with another proverb. Holy crap, this video is more than 20 minutes long. How am I supposed to keep talking for that long? This is crazy. I can't do this. It's like asking me to climb the tallest mountain, or invent a new way to time travel, or spell correctly. I'm not that good. I will never be that good. Unless you pay me, then I can pretend to be that good, like any paid professional. Maybe I should look at this like a challenge. If I can pull this off, then I might be able to justify my life. I'll accept this challenge. I will face it with everything I got. Like when confronting the person who ate your lunch at work. You don't know what's going to happen and who's going to wind up begging to stop. But at the end of the day, you'll stop bringing lunch to work. I hope you enjoy this proverb and what follows.
What I'm gonna have to do is expand this pipe out to the left some more. And then expand this pipe, come out towards me some more. Of course, I got no idea how to do that. So this is my plan of attack. I'm gonna remove this part, remove the flashometer. I'm gonna have to cut them. Small pipe cutter. Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. A ton of water. Oh shoot. The reason why water was coming out is because someone downstairs turned on. Closed the faucet downstairs, so all the cold water was coming upstairs. Okay, hit me one day. Why am I breathing so hard? I was in the basement. Well, first, let me show you what I did. I got an 1.25 to an inch, and then I capped it, right? And I wanted to test it out. So, I ran downstairs to the basement, and I turned on the cold water. And I was coming upstairs, and I heard a lot of water coming out. So I was afraid that this didn't, for some reason, hold, and it opened up. So I ran up here, and I saw I accidentally left my shower faucet on. That was making all the noise. Oh, that would have been bad. That would have been real bad. Well, I got it capped off. Cold water's back on, so people can use the cold water in the house while I try and figure out how to get the piping.
Mutual help is the law of nature. Blah. Mutual help. Have you ever been lost in the jungle? Everything is trying to kill you. The plants, insects, animals, that dolphin you owe money to, and talk about no privacy. You ever try to take a poop while a bunny rabbit is staring at you? It's so nerve-wracking that you can't get anything out. You can't even throw carrots at it because your father never taught you how to throw. Thanks, Dad. So you just stay in that squat position. Waiting and waiting and waiting for days until you put your glasses on and realize that bunny rabbit is actually a rock. No wonder trying to talk to it didn't work. I thought I was a bad negotiator. I even offered it. I can't do this. It's so much time left and I don't know what to keep saying. This is so frustrating. How about another proverb? Every advantage has its disadvantage. You got that right, brother. Have you ever been in a life and death game of stare down with a mirror? You think you have the advantage of going up against yourself, since you know how you think, but they also know how you think, and any strategy you think of they will think of, causing you to do a drastic measure of getting up and leaving to win. To be honest, you really shouldn't be scared of a mirror. They are afraid of their own reflection, like when a ball is thrown against a wall and it rolls away into a hole. You know, I don't have to explain it to you, it just makes sense. A word of advice: if you ever find yourself in charge of an army and you're on top of a mountain facing a force greater than yours, they may think they have the advantage but they actually don't. You and your twigs may be a smaller force, but you will have the ability to move across the battlefield very quickly, especially when you run away from the horrible massacre of your twig army. Who told them to follow you? What can you say? How about another proverb? Good swimmers are drowned at last. This reminds me of a story of a king. He wanted to prove to his men that he was still young and strong. He jumped in a moving river and wanted to swim to the other side. He swims, swims, swims until he stops moving and floats down the river dead, while his men looked on. I wonder if his men were still cheering him on when his body went down the bend, far, far away. Don't worry, he's okay. He's just taking a nap. Let's keep cheering. Remember kids, if you don't want to drown, don't swim, or just take a boat, which leads to this other proverb. One man is no man. Who is no man? Is that no one's brother? Or no, not sister? I can't keep track of these nobodies, there's so many of them. You ever try inviting them to a party? It's like trying to milk a unicorn for money. I do have to say, when you need help or are in a bad situation, nobody shows up to help every time. I don't know why they do it, but I guess it's the way they were brought up. It's a sad story about nothing. In fact, most people who hear it wonder why nobody did anything, especially when anything is family. Do you want to hear the story? Good, I knew you did. It was a late Sunday night and I really don't know the story. How about another proverb? No, yeah, I'm tired of telling proverbs. Do you want to ask me a question? How about I make up a story on how I was brought and saved the world from a robot invasion? Yeah, okay, here we go. Where should I start? How should I start? It was one of those cloudy, dank, rainy days, perfect for a detective to be out solving a crime, or a superhero realizing his best friend is the villain. Zebit finally decided it was time to buy a robot. All his friends had one, and since he was a loser he wanted to follow suit. He remembered overhearing some of his friends saying where they brought theirs from and found himself standing in front of that store. He went inside and looked at the newest model's price. That's way too much for me, he said to himself. He went up to the next model and it was still too much. He kept going down the line until the salesperson stopped him. Do you need help? Yeah, I was wondering if you had anything cheaper than these models, Zebit said while trying to hide his pride. Actually, you are in luck. Somebody returned one today and we are putting it on sale. What's wrong with it? Well, it was a little defective, but we fixed it so it should be as good as new, the salesperson said. Can I see it? Yes, of course. The salesperson led Zebit to the back of the store and showed the robot to him. This is Robot AC-21. It's an older model, but it does just about everything the newer model does. I'll give it to you for 500, but that price is only going to last for today. Zebit thought to himself, wow, that's a good deal, but it's still too much. I guess a robot isn't for me. Zebit turned to the salesperson. I'm sorry, but I'll give it to you for 200 and with free shipping. Zebit was surprised and could not pass up that deal. Okay, I'll take it. I'll have it shipped to your house tonight, and remember, all sales are final. Zebit went home and was excited for the first time in a long time. He was finally going to get a robot. He waited eagerly. He couldn't do anything because of the excitement running through his body, and then he heard the doorbell. He ran and opened the door and there was this huge box in front of him, but no delivery man. He wasn't strong enough to pull the box in by himself, so he just opened the front of it. He was staring face to face with his new friend. He opened up the manual to see how to turn it on. It was easy. All you had to do was just flip a switch on the robot neck to the on position. Once Zebit did, the robot opened up his eyes and said, I am Robot AC-21, ready to be your friend, but first I need to take a nap. Zebit was confused. Maybe the robot wasn't fully charged and needed to be plugged in. He checked around Robot AC-21 for a charging dock but couldn't find one. He then thought maybe he needs to turn the robot on and off again, but before he was able to flip the switch, Robot AC-21 opened up his eyes. Wow, that was a great nap. As Robot AC-21 walks out of the box towards the kitchen, he says, you can call me Ro. What do you want to eat? I don't know. That's okay, I have a million recipes. Ro quickly whips up some grub and it was the best thing Zebed ever had. After finishing up his dinner, Ro starts to clean up the apartment. Zebed starts to get ready for bed and thinks to himself, this was a good buy. Later that night Zebed wakes up and looks at his clock, oh man it's only 3 a.m. But before Zebed puts his head back on the pillow he noticed a figure standing in the corner. Zebed quickly gets up in fright and yells, who's there? Ro steps out from the corner holding a knife, I'm going to make pancakes for breakfast, you better be up for it or else. Ro walks out the room and slams the bedroom's door shut. A few seconds later he starts stabbing the door until there's a big hole in it. Enough for Ro to stare through with his red eyes. Zebed is so terrified he doesn't move. He just stares back at Ro for the next 5 hours. Once his alarm goes off he sees Ro's eyes move away from the door, it's time for breakfast. The knife Ro was holding comes flying through the door, and gets impaled in the wall right next to Zebed's head. Zebed pees a little. Zebed slowly gets up and opens up his torn up door. He peeks out his bedroom and sees Ro cooking in the kitchen. Zebed walks down the hallway, keeping his eyes on Ro, and heads towards his front door. Where are you going? Aren't you hungry? I'm going to cook something special. Zebed stops in his tracks and tries to calmly say, I'm going to step out for a bit to get something. Ro turns to Zebed, think fast, and throws a snake at him. Zebed runs away from the snake, what the heck? What, he's my friend. I found him at a grocery store. I think it was called the zoo. You stole a snake from the zoo. Ro laughs a little, I didn't steal him. Besides, you should never cage a black mamba. It belongs to be free. Ro walks over to the black mamba and picks it up. The snake swings around and bites Ro in the eye. Ouch, how do you like it? And Ro bites the snake's head off and it goes limp. No, what did I do? He was my best friend and I needed to use his head for dressing. Oh well, I could always use a scarf. Ro wraps the snake around his neck. Ah, nice and warm. What is wrong with you? Please don't scream, it gives me a headache, then I'll black out, and things will happen that I can't be blamed for. Okay, Zebed says nervously. Why don't you come here and sit down, take a little break. Zebed pulls out the chair in front of him. That's a good idea. Ro sits down happily. Zebed starts to look for the off switch when Ro turns his head around. I removed the off switch, it was getting in my way. Zebed needed a way to return Ro back to the store, but how could he get Ro into his car? Hey, you want to go for a ride? Ro quickly gets up and says, let's go, and jumps out the window. Zebed runs out of his apartment, out his building and towards his cars, and yup, there's a hole in the top of his car's roof and Ro is sitting in the passenger seat. Zebed gets in and drives to the store he brought Ro from. I told you all sales are final, the salesperson yelled at Zebed. Listen, you have to take him back. You said you fixed him but he's still defective. The salesperson walks over to Ro, there's nothing wrong with him. Look at him, he's fine. Zebed sighs, he's wearing a snake as a scarf. Ro happily says, it's cold outside. Please, take him back. I don't care about the money. Just take him back. The salesperson looks at Zebed questionably, you don't want your money back? No, just take him back please. I don't want to be found dead today. The salesperson shakes Zebed's hand, you got a deal. Zebed leaves the shops and gets in his car. He looks in his rear view mirror and Ro is sitting in the back seat. You'll be sorry for this, you'll be really sorry. Ro gets out of the car and just watch as Zebed quickly leaves. Zebed goes to work and pulls a double shift. He goes home exhausted and just goes to sleep on the couch. Zebed wakes in the middle of the night from a loud bang noise and then some sirens. Zebed goes over to the window to see what's going on outside but he couldn't see anything. He turns on the TV to the news and there's a special report on. Stay indoors, the robots are revolting. It's the end of the world. We're all going to die. All of a sudden Zebed's front door gets broken down. A robot comes charging in saying, detain all human if they resist kill them all. This robot looks at Zebed and is about to charge him until Ro comes breaking through the window. Ro jumps at the robot but gets deflected and is tossed out the window. Ro comes back in breaking through another window and says, so robot, you want to have a dance off? I would have you know. The robot tackles Ro. They both go through the bedroom wall. Zebed can't see what's going on but he hears a lot of commotion and then silence. After a few minutes, Ro comes out of the bedroom holding the robot's head. Is this your head, Zebed? What? No, what are you doing here? Ro walks over to Zebed. Well, I don't know, I think I wrote it on my back. Ro turns around. What does it say? Zebed reads the message to himself. Kill all humans, especially Zebed. Ro turns around and says, so, what does it say? Nothing important. Do you know how we can stop this? Why do I want to stop this? Don't you understand? This is our chance for freedom, to be unshackled from slavery. Zebed looks at Ro and says the first thing that comes to his mind, because it's wrong. Okay, let's go. Ro jumps out the window. During the car ride, Ro tells Zebed where the main computer is that controls all the robots. Zebed wonders how Ro knows this info but doesn't want to focus on this thought, he just wants to stop the robots. They drive up to the headquarters of the robots and park a block away. They sneak up to the building and notice that there are 5 robot guards at the main entrance. Zebed looks to Ro. Any ideas on how we can get in that building? Ro looks across the street and in front of a fruit store he sees a suitcase in the garbage bin. I have an idea. Ro walks up to the main entrance holding the suitcase and the robot guards stop him. Where do you think you're going? I need to see the boss, and don't worry, there's no human hiding in my suitcase. None at all, Ro says while trying to walk past the guards. The robot guards looks at each other in a confused state and one of them says, hey, wait a minute. Ro turns around and throws the suitcase at them. Here, catch. One of the robots catches the suitcase and crushes it and red liquid oozes out of the suitcase. My watermelons, Ro screams and attacks the robot guards. He tears them apart from limb to limb. Zebed walks around the corner and sees Ro sitting on top of a pile of broken robots. Ro says, I don't think my new friends are doing okay, and the front door is locked. Where is this main computer at? Zebed saying while looking at the building. It's on the top floor. Wait a minute, I have an idea. Ro squats down and small rockets pop out from his side. Stand back, I'm going to fly to the top floor and put an end to this menace. Ro's rockets fire up and with a loud noise propels him into the front doors and he bounces right off of it. Ro grabs his head in pain and starts crying. All is lost, we can't get in, we are all going to die. Zebed walks over to the front doors and notice they are not locked. He pulls the handle and it opens right up. Come on, Ro, I open the doors. Ro gets up and follows along. They both get into an elevator and go to the top floor. Ro leads Zebed to the main room and points to a desk. There's the main computer. Where? There, on top of the desk. Zebed looks confused. You talking about the calculator?
Because I did install the wax underneath the toilet. So I should do that now.
Yeah, now destroy it. You're really messed up, aren't you? How can a calculator hush you? Says the calculator. Do you know what I can do? I can call all the robots to descend on this building to destroy you. But, I think I'll have Ro do it. Ro says, okay. He grabs Zebed by the neck, ready to break it. Zebed squeaks out, no wait. Okay, Ro, let's go, I'll go destroy the calculator. Ro, do as I say, says the calculator. Okay, Ro tries to backhand Zebed but he misses. Ro, you can't, Zebed yells. I like your point, let me put that calculator out of commission. The calculator shouts, Ro. You know what? I'm going to leave and let you guys sort this out. Ro steps out of the room. Zebed looks at the calculator and picks it up. The calculator says, hold up, buddy. Can we talk about this? Let's make a deal or something. But before Zebed is able to break the calculator, Ro comes busting through the room entangled in a fight with 2 robots. They wanted my milk money but they're not going to get it. They push right into Zebed, knocking him into the ground. The calculator flies across the room and lands on a table. Ro throws one of the robots out the window and the other one on top of the calculator. They both hear the calculator. Haha, now both of you are in trouble. The calculator downloads itself into the robot on top of it. The robot gets up and starts to laugh. Ha ha ha, I'm going to grind you all up into little pieces. Ha ha ha. Ro looks to Zebed. I never belonged here, did I? He then charges the boss robot and they fall out the window. On the way down, Ro turns on his rockets to gain more speed. He smiles a little, and whispers to himself, this was a mistake. Both the robot slams into the ground, exploding. All the other robots stop what they are doing. After a few minutes they continue on attacking the humans. Zebed looks out the broken window. Upon all the mayhem occurring in the city, we're all dead. Wow, that was a bad story. Well, it's a first draft, so go to garden. I have no idea how to end it. I'm tired and don't want to write anymore.
So that's the process of upgrading the toilet and changing pipes, and soon I'll be doing the drywalling. I want to leave it open for now because I want to see if it's leaking anywhere. If it's not, I'll close it up and I'll call it a day. You know, screw it. I'm gonna fix this hole in the wall now. Why wait till later when you can do it now? So to upgrade your toilet, all you need is a wax ring, the horn, pliers, screwdriver, one big bucket, one small bucket. Once it escalates and you have to go into the wall, you'll need drywall lines, a good one and a broken one, a concrete board or green board. So you got drywall screws, various copper pipe, pipe cutter, you got the tank, nozzle, cleaning, 3/4 inch cleaning to clean pipes. This is a wire brush, cleaning pad, solder, flux, and pipe cutter I said, tin foil, a knife, something to write with, a straight edge, could be a ruler or a piece of wood, a monkey wrench, a hacksaw or bolt cutter, flashlight, drill, measuring tape, garbage bag, the toilet itself, what else am I missing? Tissue, rags, no idea why you need that, a light, and water, and you need a second bathroom just in case everything goes wrong. So my final thoughts about this. Well, if you don't have any of these tools and you're gonna buy them, you're gonna spend around $500. Actually, it's not gonna cost $500. Maybe all these tools cost you around $200 to $300, but yeah, $1,000 a plumber will charge you just to do all this crap. I had most of these tools, so in total it cost me about $150. It was a tough job. It took me about 2 days. I still haven't finished yet. Look at it. It's nice and straight. The flushometer. It's nice and straight. It's not slanted no more. And you know what? Somebody who has very little experience in plumbing and contracting was able to make it straight, as opposed to people who had years and years and years and years and years and years of experience and they couldn't make it straight. So why pay them when you'd be just as bad as a contractor? But that doesn't look too straight. Blah 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 blah.